Hey, how's it going? This is Jeff with Apex Leadership Development. I've had some questions, people talking about, Jeff, you've talked about different frameworks for goal setting and why one versus the other. So what I want to do is just really talk about some goal setting frameworks, why you'd want to use one versus the other. And I'm really going to do a deep dive onto two of those. First, like we talk about SMART goals, SMART goal setting, and we've talked about 10X, but recognizing that there are some other frameworks out there that can be used. There's OKR, objectives, key results. Of course, a lot of businesses use KPIs. You can set goals around those KPIs. Jim Collins introduced us to the BHAG, those big, hairy, audacious goals, one of my favorites. I like incorporating that into just about everything. There's a balanced scorecard approach, which helps you organize, monitor performance, and make sure that your performance is aligned. So there's the WHOOP. I love this one, just the name itself. Wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. There's a goal pyramid, hierarchical structure, breaks down overreaching goals into smaller, actionable steps. And then there's BSQ, think big, act small, and do it quick. The two that I'm really going to dive into, though, are SMART goals. And I think SMART is probably one of the most popular that's out there. They're specific, they're measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Very practical, focused on incremental growth. If you go backwards, I talked about liking everything about SMART, but in some situations, I don't think that we need to be achievable or reachable. Like that occasionally we need to set some goals that feel like they're unachievable. And that's where Grant Cardone, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, Dan Sullivan, they talk about 10X goals. Remember, talked about Benjamin Hardy. Says that Benjamin Hardy has a book that 10X your life. He wrote that with Dan Sullivan. Says that it's easier to 10X than it is to 2X. The basic emphasis on 10X is thinking beyond your limitations and innovating to get massive results. So take a look real quick at 10X goals. 10X goals require a lot of visionary thinking. You can't X anything if you're going to stay in the same thinking process, the same mindset, the same pattern that you've always been in. It requires reimagining a radically different future for you. It takes a little bit of courage, really, to do a 10X goal, because anybody can set a goal to grow by a certain percentage and push to get it, right? But if you say you want to 10X something, that's a huge, huge increase. And so there's going to be some uncertainty that comes along with it. There's going to be a lot of discomfort that comes along with it. But you're pushing towards, again, something that is less realistic to achieve. You're going to have a lot of strategic innovation. Focus on the vital few. The Pareto principle, 20% of our actions drive 80% of our results. You're going to look for those things that are going to drive results. Encourages a lot of delegation, teamwork, and just having some smarter systems. The other thing 10X is going to do is it's really going to require a mind shift. You're going to have to start thinking a little differently. You're going to have to stop thinking in increments. You're going to have to start thinking in big steps. Forces prioritization and it eliminates distractions. So we're going to, the things that we need to do, remember talking about having clarity and setting goals. When we have that clarity, we can prioritize what we need to do. Eliminating the distractions, just doing the work that needs to be done. And so in entrepreneurship, there's a lot of applications that you're going to find for 10X goals. It's essential for startups aiming to scale rapidly. If you want to go from 0 to 60, you can't think incremental growth. You have to think in things that are going to multiply your growth. It drives creative problem solving and gets you a little bit resourceful, thinking outside of the box. You have to be creative if you're going to grow 10X. Looking at the characteristics of everyday realistic goals, they're very practically focused. They're targeting immediate and achievable outcomes within your current restraints. So a lot of your SMART type goals, they're often tied to operational tasks like production schedules, team deliverables, those type of things. You're not looking like long-term vision, broad vision. They're definitely incrementally focused. You're going to build on your existing process without requiring drastic changes. So minor tweaks on a production line are going to give you a little bit of an increase. They're suitable for areas where there's limited scalability or you're constrained by both physical resources, physical constraints. That's where your incremental goals, like your SMART goals, are going to be limiting for you. Really what you look for there is you look for consistency and discipline. Just keep doing the same thing. Maybe you do it a little bit faster. The SMART goals, the incremental goals, they're ideal for maintaining efficiency in just routine tasks, and you can look for slight improvement in your metrics, okay? I want to look at some of the key differences between the 10x goals and your everyday realistic goals, like your smart type goal setting things. First of all, 10x is going to drive exponential growth and innovation. If you want to push the needle, if you really want to drive growth, if you want to drive innovation, if you want to get on the cutting edge, you're going to look more towards the 10x. If you want to maintain steady progress, you're going to set smart goals. For a broad long-term vision, the scope of your projects, next goals are going to give you the availability to think bigger in that broader picture. Everyday realistic smart goals, they're going to be narrow or short-term focused. I really wanted to make that distinction between the two because I feel like when I start talking about both of them, people are like, hey, wait a minute, you talked about smart goals here, but you're talking about 10x here. There's applications for both. The mindset for 10x goals, courage, creativity, and risk taking. You're going to have to be able to put yourself out there. Smart goals, you're looking at discipline and practicality. Is it relevant? Is it achievable? It's in the name of the goal setting framework. You're looking for strategy and transformation in 10x goals. But in your smart type goals or your everyday realistic goals, you're looking for incremental and consistent. In 10x, you're looking to scale. And in your everyday, you're just looking for routine operations or team management. Those are the fundamental differences between the two. Which one's best? That's a great question. I feel like you need to balance the two. Entrepreneurs, you should use a mix of both frameworks. You should use 10x for visionary goals, use it for scaling, for entering new markets, for innovating new products. And you want to use the smart type goals, everyday realistic goals for execution, apply them to daily operations or areas that are constrained by resources. The other thing that I wanted to do here is really give a comparison to the two people that I find the two camps of 10xing goals. Okay. That's Grant Cardone, and that's then Hardy and Sullivan, Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. Okay. Grant Cardone really emphasizes not just a massive goal, but massive action and relentless effort. In other words, you set that goal and you don't stop until you get it. Cardone is a huge advocate of setting goals 10 times larger and taking 10 times more action to get it done. So basically, if you'll do what everybody else won't do, you're going to be able to achieve that 10x, right? Focusing on pushing beyond your limits, overcoming self-doubt, and again, mindset, encouraging high energy, aggressive approach to goal setting achievement. It's a you pushing thing. And then Sullivan and Hardy, they talk about emphasizing working smarter and not necessarily harder, focusing on those things that are, remember the Proteo effect, 20% that's going to give you 80% maximum effort. You're focusing your energy. You're not putting that energy into working as hard as you can. You're putting that energy into finding the thing that's going to give you exponential multiplier growth. You're looking for simplification and high impact activities. You're looking for prioritizing quality of your actions, not just quantity of your actions. Cardone emphasizes quantity. Sullivan and Hardy focus on the quality. Cardone looks very action oriented, while Sullivan and Hardy, they're more mindset and process oriented. Cardone pushes for constant activity, while Sullivan and Hardy look for strategic and reflective activity. We're going to reflect on the actions that we've done. Is it getting us the best result? No, then let's go to something else. Both of them aim for exponential growth. One relies on sheer willpower, and the other one emphasizes strategic thinking. I have always talked about this. People said when you look at really successful people, you're going to find two camps. And you found the hardest working people in the room are successful. They're grinders. They're people that work harder than everybody else. Because they work harder than everybody else, they get better results than everybody else. Or they're the smartest people in the room, so they know how to get tasks done bigger, better, and faster. And then you have like the ultra successful, like your billionaire type people. I'm just throwing this out there. This is my idea. I have no scientific data to back it, but they're the total package, right? They can work smarter, harder, and faster than everybody else. I don't know why, but Elon Musk comes to my mind there. Like him, hate him, whatever you want. But the guy sets some really big goals. Anybody know what Elon Musk's really big goal is? My guy wants to colonize Mars. More than a 10x goal right there. We've barely gotten something to land on Mars, and he wants to go there and colonize it. The logistics behind that sound absolutely incredible. But when you consider a guy's built multiple billion-dollar companies, and he's done it by sleeping on the production floor at times, he's the hardest working. He's one of the smartest guys in the room. Like him, love him, doesn't matter what our opinion of him is. He's got those 10x goals out there. I would say it's a BHAG. It's definitely a big, hairy, audacious goal, but it's there. When we take a look at that, those are just the basic goal setting frameworks and the differences between them. Hopefully that gives you a place for application. How do you apply that into your organization, into your personal life, into your professional life? And once you find those, I think you'll be well on your way.